Portugal, the country where we spent the first few days of our honeymoon 50 years ago. Our hotel, the Pousada do Porto, where we had a room with a stunning view over the river. The view, as I mentioned, and the well-appointed public rooms. And we started off with the afternoon by the swimming pool. But unfortunately the swimming pool was a little chilly for our taste, and there was an indoor pool, so we went and swam there, much more comfortable. The next day we took a taxi into town. Town was on a hill, so we looked up finally after a big hassle at the top of the hill. So all we had to do was walk down to the bottom. We decided not to climb this church tower, which was a shame because it would have given us a magnificent view. And now we go to the cathedral, to Porto. Inside it was quite ornate, as you can see. And outside was this interesting wall leading into the treasure room. The ceiling is interesting. And then it's down to the quay on the river where the boys are swimming, and to buy a couple of purses. Across the river, the various port houses have their offices and caves, and we go over there up this very narrow street to visit tailors. At Taylor's, we took a tour of the facilities there to learn all about port. And then followed that with a tasting of their 40 and 30-year-old tawnies. Next morning, it starts by being a little misty for our boat trip up the River Douro, but soon clears. Here we are passing our hotel, going up the river. The room is in the pink building on the second floor from the top. Now looking down the river from where we came, that's our bridge. Rowing seems to be a popular sport there in different forms, and there were a lot of them on the river. We soon reached the Crestumo Lever Dam.
Once inside the lake, the boat is secured to two floating bollards, which accompany the rapid rise and lowering of the boats.
Closing the gates behind us. See the boat beginning to rise up. It's red and we can't go, but finally it turns to green and we're off again on our trip. The second dam is the Carapatello Dam, and for some reason the captain was looking in this hole. The only excitement here was a helicopter picking up water from the river and dumping it on a fire, and this was another fire that we saw further up the river. We have now reached our destination, Regua, and we're taken for a wine tasting at the Pacheca winery and given a tour of the facilities. And of course, another wine tasting, or actually mostly wine rather than port here. Waiting for the train for our return journey back to Porto, and here it comes. view of the river from the train. On our way out of Porto, we visit the Chamber of Commerce, which was also the stock exchange in the old days. And there's a beautiful old library, 1834, and a magnificent ceiling. The car is pretty dirty, so it needs a good wash, and then we have lunch looking out towards Harbour Island, which unfortunately, because it's foggy, we cannot see. And so now it's back to Spain and on to Santiago de Compostela.